everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Backstage Spotlight. And today's a very exciting one. We've got Tether joining us. Welcome to the podcast. This is a very special episode. And do you know why?
Go on, why?
It's being uploaded on Christmas Eve.
Oh, my favourite day of the year.
Oh,
Other
do you have any inspirational Christmas Eve messages for everyone who's listening on Christmas Eve?
I just hope you all have the best Christmas ever. I
Yeah.
plan on having a Christmas, and I hope everyone does as well. I love it. It's my favourite day of the year. Christmas Eve more than Christmas Day, I think, because I'm so excited.
Yeah, that's true. Because the build-up's really exciting.
Yeah, you're so right.
So, May, do you want to tell everyone a bit about yourself, like where you grew up and what you do now?
So I am from a little town called Goole in East Yorkshire, which has my heart and always will do. I trained in musical theatre in York,
Yay.
which very exciting for us too. And I now live in London. I've been part of Heathers. I was in Taboo at the Palladium. I've done various plays. Yeah, and now I'm currently in a very, very bad Cinderella at the Other Palace studio
Whoop,
again.
whoop. So, when you were younger, did you always know that performing was something you wanted to do?
No, not really. This is so odd. I accidentally fell into performance. So I used to dance. I used to dance. I love dance, but that was just like because it was part of my life from being 2 years old. It was the norm, you know. And I didn't really think about it. It was just what I did. And then I um went into school, and I was going to be in Joseph, and I really wanted to play Joseph because they were opening up Joseph to everyone. And I was like, I want to play Joseph. And I didn't get it. And I was like, oh, okay, maybe it's not for me. And I kind of just left it at that. And then my grandma Hazel, she's wonderful. She was the woman who was like, I'm going to take you to join an amateur dramatics company because I want you to go on the stage. And she always used to take me to dance. So that's how it started, really. And then I really started enjoying myself as just more of like a hobby, really. And I used to get so excited to get out of school and get to rehearsals, and that's when I knew. I was like, yeah. Probably ended up in about 15 years old when I was like, you must be a performer. Like that's what you need to do. So it was yeah, it was then that I realized, so quite late on.
Mm, that's so cute that it was your grandma that took you. Was there any specific amateur shows that you did that you really enjoyed?
Yeah, well, my first one, this is hilarious. I went in and I was like, oh, I'm just going in just to see if I get a part or whatever, or if I ended up in the ensemble. I was just so happy to be on stage. And then I got Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, and it was like the first thing I'd ever done. So I was like, this is terrifying. But I realized it was terrifying at the time because I didn't realize what it was like to be on a stage and be singing, Somewhere Over the Rainbow. But yeah, I think that's when I realized I really, really wanted to do it. And then I ended up moving more towards York to do my stuff, which I loved. That was next level. That was like professional level. And I do have Nick Briggs to thank for that. What a wonderful guy.
I once went to one of the York Stage, which is Nick Briggs's theatre company. I once went to one of his showcases. I can't remember what it was for, but you were singing in it. And I remember back then that's the first time I ever saw you perform.
Was it the one at the Grand Opera House?
Yes.
Yeah, and I did Baltimore and Me from Hairspray. Is that right?
Yes. Yes.
I remember this clear as day. That was when I was in my first year at drama school, and he asked me to come back and perform it. And I was like, oh, this is mad. That's when I knew it was all clicking. That I was training to do it professionally. So that was really lovely.
Yeah. How was it going to dance college, like musical theatre college? How did you find your time there?
I loved it because basically it was really, really evenly split at Trinity Lab. And I went to Trinity Lab and Conservatoire of Music and Dance, the longest name ever for a dance. And I loved it because it really pushed me. I'd never properly trained in some of those dance forms. I used to just do ballet as a kid because I liked the dress more than anything. And then getting there and training with people who are in the industry and learning so much about my craft and especially acting, I came out of there going, yeah, I know what I want to do. And obviously I'm really keen on doing directing and performing, and I think I will end up probably in the directing stuff later on in life. But I learned so much from Trinity because of that. They're very good at opening different avenues, and you find where you fit. I think that's why I really enjoyed it there. Yeah.
That's great. And when you were at that college, like, is there anything you wish you knew about your future or going into the industry, like advice you would give to people still in that position?
Okay. The first bit of that, I wish I'd known I would come out into a job. Does that make any sense?
Yeah,
Because panic about that every day, and there's actually no need to panic, because whatever is right for you will find you. And you don't get to decide. That's what I would tell myself. That's exactly what I tell myself. You don't get to decide where your future goes. Your future will decide it for you, because you'll get the audition, you do what you can in the room, and you'll book whatever job is right for you. So Heather's was mine at the time, which was mad. Like, just the thinking, I never thought I'd go into Heather's. I didn't. I loved it and I loved watching it, but when I went to see it, I didn't think I'm going to be in that one day. I was just like, wow, what a great piece of theatre. So
yeah.
yeah, strange. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's
I would
like
tell don't decide for yourself. That they will decide. Don't go, I'm a Sondheim girl. I'm a Roger and Hammerstein girly. You don't need to do that. Something will come for you, and you'll go with it.
yeah, it's important to know that it's especially because the industry is always changing and you never know what shows are gonna be auditioning when you leave, so you can't really plan it.
And you never know what they're going to be doing to those shows. They might go, do you know what? We're going to do like Sound of Music, but it's going to be set in like Yorkshire. You never know, because the creatives have the say. So it's like, don't box yourself, I would say to anyone. Let it come for you, because something will. Just you don't know what it
Exactly.
is yet.
How was your Heather's audition? What was the process?
Oh my god, no, this is funny. So I got a self tape through. I was at home in Yorkshire, and I got a self tape through for Lemmy's and Heather's due around the same time. And I was like, okay, that I'll do it all in one day. Why did I do that? I don't know. And I did it. I did the whole tape for Heather's. I did my hair like half up, half down, which I had in the show weirdly, as drama club. I had like a black top on. I had like nice little jeans. I looked lovely. I had a full face on, and then I did it, sent it off, naively took all my makeup off, got my hair out, ordered myself a curry, and I sat down just about to take the first bite of the curry, and my agent calls and goes, you need to redo it. You need to redo it.
Wow.
Because we don't want the big arms in it, which is funny, because I did do the big arms, and I ended up doing that in the show when I went on for Veronica, but for the tape, it needed to be a little bit more, smaller.
Yeah, like compact.
Yeah, but I was like, I've just taken all my makeup off. I've got a
Oh,
chicken korma in front of me. I do not want to have to get up and do this again. But you know what? I'm so thankful that something inside me went, just do it. And I did it. And now, if that ever happens again, I keep my makeup on for at least another hour, because I think Michelle's going to give me a ring and be like, can you do that again? Um, Everything's set up for an hour. I have like an hour like emergency time. But yeah, that's my story for Heather's. And I had to read with my brother, who is incredibly Yorkshire. So obviously in Heather's, they say corn nuts all the time, which is really American. And he was like, corn nuts. So trying to read against was really something. So I am shocked I got the job, and I'm thrilled I got the job. But yeah, there was a lot of woo like this.
yeah. Oh,
Mad.
Heather's must have been such a good experience. What was it like touring, like the different cities? Do you have a favorite location?
I do have a favorite location. I loved, right, it's different. I loved Dublin because of what it looked like. I loved Cardiff. Cardiff like has my heart. I loved it. But Liverpool was where I debuted as Veronica, and that will always be so special. Like, I can't look at that theatre without kind of like welling up, because
Oh,
I was terrified. And I actually talked about this yesterday. I did a What's on Stage takeover, and the curtain lifted, and I was like this. There's like 3,000 people sat out there. What am I doing? And it hits you, and then it all just goes away. It all just, you get on that stage and something just takes over you. It's mad. But touring, because I came out of COVID into Heather's,
mm,
um, that was mad. That was mad, because coming out of COVID and going to all those different places, oh, it was lovely. It was wonderful.
that must be so special. Also, I came to see that in Leeds, and that was kind of like near your hometown, so I bet a lot of like your family and friends all came to that one. So that was probably like a sentimental location.
That was our first one. That was our first venue.
Oh,
That was weird because I was too busy panicking about the show and going, do I know this choreography? Probably not, and I did, but I was like, oh my God. I kind of took that sentimental thing away, but we did come back to Sheffield later on, and that was nice. That was lovely. I had a lot of family in that one.
Oh, good. How long did the tour last?
I think it was around 6 months.
That's like a decent amount of time.
Good, not too, we weren't away from home that long. And we got to see everywhere, and that's all I cared about. And Edinburgh was beautiful as well. Look at me, I'm just listing the whole bloody tour and stuff. Everywhere was amazing. For different reasons. Like Manchester was great because Dead Gay Sun came on, and obviously, like, the theatre is literally in the gay village, so it's literally like, woo, everyone just went mad, and it was that feeling. I cried on stage that night when that happened, sobbed.
Oh,
It was so lovely.
yeah. And how did you find, like, going from location to location, and is it hard living out of a suitcase?
Yeah, I struggled with that, and it
Mm.
took me ages to figure out how much to take
Yeah.
because I for some venues an underpack. So when I went to Ireland, I was like, well, I'm getting on a plane, and anyone knows me, I am a panicker when I travel. So when I'm getting on a flight, I'm thinking it needs to be well under what they've said I can take, because I don't want my suitcase. I don't have to pay
Mm.
more. I don't want it taken off me. And I only packed about like 2 jumpers, and I realised on the flight, I was like, oh, I'm not coming home in between Belfast and Dublin.
Oh, no.
Jumpers the whole tour. I had to go buy things and like a new coat, and it took like I was wearing a jumper on the flight. I don't know what happened to me there, if I'm honest. I think I was just nervous to play out somewhere new, and then that, that was just terrifying. But yeah,
It's a learning
absolutely.
experience.
Is. And to be fair, you have to do that, I think, once to figure out, don't do it again.
You were in the cast at the other palace when they filmed the Heathers film. How
Mad.
was that?
It was weird, right? It was the best experience of my life because we did the show, we finished the show, not finished it, but it went on a break. And I walked into the palace like I had no idea. I've never been on a film set, so I don't know
Mm.
how it was. And I walked in, and all the seats were taken out at the other palace, and it was a completed like camera crew. And I was like, I'm terrified now. And I had like a lovely woman doing my hair, and there was bacon sandwiches upstairs. You can't
Oh!
complain. So I was like, oh, bacon sandwiches. I loved, honestly, that experience was amazing, but it was tough, but they
Yeah,
looked after us. So actually I can't really complain because we did like Big Fun, that song, it's dancey and it's movie and it's long. And we
yeah.
did it about 10 times back to back. And
Oh.
these lovely people would come out, bless them, with like little tissues and like dabbers, and like make sure our hair were right. And it was just mad. I was like, I love that in the actual show. Like, come off after big tissue. I love it. But yeah, it was
Oh.
wonderful experience. Yeah, I absolutely loved it. And working with Larry O'Keefe and Kevin Murphy and Andy Fickman, obviously. But it was those three, the Holy Trilogy. They were in the building. So it was really nice to work with them on their creation. It
Yeah,
was really, and Gary Lloyd, obviously I absolutely adore Gary Lloyd. I mean, his choreography is, I think it's sensational, and it's so good to dance. He's just so clever.
yeah, like a
Yeah.
feel good show.
Yeah, it is. And that's why it was amazing. It was just when we'd got to Never Shut Up Again, which is the dance number in Heathers, filming that 10 times back to back. I've never been fitter.
The stamina required for that one.
I'll do it now.
Did you have any, like, hidden gems in the show? Like, going on for a certain scene? Like, did you have any things with, like, other members of the cast that you would do every show backstage?
So at Heathers, this is a well-known thing now, but we always do a circle. So we all get in a circle for every show, every single show, or every filming thing. Everyone in Heathers has to do it. It's left over right, right over left, right over left. And you go, hey, yo, Westerberg, woo. And you're like, and it just, we all talk about things in circles. So we say if we're proud of someone, if someone's got like an issue or something like that, we all just stand and chat, get it all out, do hey, yo, Westerberg. And it just feels like you're ready to go then,
Oh,
It
that's
feels
so
like,
cute.
it was really lovely and a great experience. And I do miss that. And then when I
Yeah.
did Hall, that Andy Fickman directed it again. So we ended up doing the circle there again. We just changed the words. So we didn't say, hey, yo, Westerberg. We said something else from Halls. Each day it changed.
That's
One of
so
those.
sweet. That's so nice. And you at one point did like some directing, didn't you?
I was resident director of Heathers, which
That
was
is insane.
my job for that was just to keep the show exactly as is.
Yeah.
You know, have any problems, you know, they could come to me and I could go, okay, right, well, I'll fix that. And like if anyone came into the show when we'd already put people in, I put them in. So the cast, so Erin Colwell's cast, I put them in primarily because Andy was in America. And then that was amazing because that was like, oh my God, this is like straight deep end, which I cannot thank Paul Taylor Mills enough for,
Mm.
because he, you know, he let me be resident director on it, and he just went, go for it. And I love that attitude. I think, yeah, I can do it. What am I waiting for? I don't need to wait and, you know, get nervous or anything. I had a great cast, great people. I thought, this is fantastic. This is where I'm going to find my feet, you know? So it was wonderful. Loved it.
Yeah. And you talked earlier about like maybe going into directing. Is that something like you genuinely want to do in the future?
Oh yeah, I just think I've got a director brain, and my brain, whenever I'm watching something or I'm in an audition or I'm in, well, whatever I'm doing, I can't help but watch what people are doing. I've just
Yeah.
got that focus where I'm like, what are you doing that for? Like, I want to know, you know, I'm just so curious. So I think that, yeah, definitely, eventually, not yet,
Yeah.
but I think in a few years it'd be really lovely to venture into that part as
I can
well.
definitely imagine directed by May Tether. I can imagine it.
Oh, one day, not
One
some
day.
stage direction. Oh, give me.
So you're obviously doing something at the other palace over Christmas. Do you want to tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, so I'm doing a very, very bad Cinderella. I'm playing Cinderella in it.
Yay.
And it's really fun because it's not told from Cinderella's
Oh,
perspective. That's me. It's told from the stepsister's point of view. And I'm like, I don't think that's ever been done before. And it's
yeah.
so clever because I always do wonder, like, what do they think actually happened there? You know, it's really funny and it's just so stagey. There's so many stagey references in it. And our director Lizzie was just fantastic. She's such a ball of energy. She's such a wonderful woman to work for. And she just kept the cast like on it. Really, you know, so we got on that stage, we felt so confident. Yeah,
Oh,
she's
that's
great.
so good. When's that running
Oh,
until?
that's running until the 7th of January.
So
So by
if
the
people listening to this podcast, they'll still have time to go see it.
time it's a few weeks.
Few weeks, yeah. I'm gonna try and get down the other palace.
it's, it's so fun. It's funny. Yeah.
Yeah, got to get there. Um, do you have any like funny memories from stage, like costume malfunctions?
Do I? Yeah. Oh, this isn't a costume malfunction. This is hysterical though. So when in Halls, I played a character called Jessie, and she's very posh, and she's, you know, she talks like this, and I loved playing that because it's so removed from me. I could really play that character rather than it sort of being a little bit of May. Like I feel like Veronica was sort of, when I went on, it was a bit of myself. I think for every person who plays Veronica, it is a bit of their self, which is why it's so wonderful. But Jessie was so removed from me. I remember when I meant to do a blender, and I pick the blender up and I say, oh, I'm making pumpkin soup because I want to feel autumnal. And there was nothing in the blender, babe. The blender wasn't plugged in and it wasn't there. So I was like, what am I going to do? So a person speaks to me, Kelly Sweeney, the actress who played Sam, was stood opposite me, and she was like, what are you going to, like, she looked at me like, what are you going to do? And I just started doing yoga poses. I was like, and then I was like, to make the same sort of noise as a blender, because I was like, that's the whole scene. The blender noise is the whole scene. So I had to make something up on the spot. So that's the most terrified I've ever been with a malfunction. Um, yeah, I don't think I've ever had weirdly, I think I got away with costume malfunctions in Heathers. I don't think I ever had one. Even with that quick change as Veronica, the team are so good. Like, I'll never forget one of the dressers, Laura. She used to like bend down. She'd be doing your socks, but my headband would be on her head. So when someone puts your jacket on, you grab the headband off her head, put it on yours. It was just really done. So I never ever missed that. Yeah, there wasn't a point where I thought, oh, I'm gonna get on. There's gonna be no Veronica Sawyer.
So
But you
nice.
know, it was
It's such a lovely team backstage.
wonderful, and they were brilliant. Like I
Mm.
can't fault them at all. They're so fast. and they were so lovely. Like if I had a bottle of water, this is on the tour as well as town and wherever. If I had a bottle of water, especially as Veronica, they would have one either side, or someone would bring you your water to wherever you were coming off. And just lovely little things like that do make the contract so much
Yeah.
better.
So special.
They're great people.
Obviously, Heathers has a huge fan base on social media. It is absolutely insane how big the fan base is. How does that feel being part of the show? Like your social profile just like going through the roof from all of the fans?
I honestly didn't know what to do. Because I am quite I'm quite boring. I'm quite normal. So when that happened, like it was very much overnight, and especially when you go on for your characters if you're a cover, because the fan base at Heathers, I've got to say, and Six, I do feel they're sort of similar because they cross over. They love a cover going on,
Yeah.
and they say, "Oh, I saw someone as someone. I saw May as this. I saw Bailey as this." And I think that's really wonderful. And I think that's just so great. And it made me feel a lot more at ease about going on, because I was like, oh, they're happy to see me regardless, which was lovely. And I do think that's when my profile went vroom, 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 because they started to go on as Veronica, or there was bootlegs of me, whatever, which isn't so great. But, it's nice to think they're happy to see you.
Yeah.
But yeah, the profile's shifting. It's weird. Like I remember the first time I went to another theatre, I was seeing Moulin Rouge on my birthday, and 2 rows behind me, these girls were like in the interval, just gone to the interval, they were like, May. And because obviously, like, I'm not used to that, I was like, yeah. And they were like, were you in Heathers? And I'm at another theatre. And I was like, oh, I'm so not used to this. I'm not used to it now. I
It's
got stopped in
scary.
the other day, and someone went, were you in Heathers? And she like creeped over to me, bless her. And she's like,
Oh.
did you? And I was like, oh, I did, yeah, but I completely don't think about it. So it is really lovely. It's lovely. And it's just nice to know that the show's had such an impact and people love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It must be really nice.
Yeah.
I've got a quick game for us to play. Finish off the Heathers lyric, which I think you'll just be fantastic at.
Oh God, I don't know. It's been a
I
while.
It has been a while, but you'll be surprised how much it's like ingrained in you, I think.
Because you could get me in trouble here. Because if I'm resident director, I don't know the lyrics. God, here we
Right.
go.
There's 10 of them. Do you think you'll get 10 out of 10?
I hope so.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm worried I'm gonna get roasted if I don't. But let's have a go.
No, you'll be fine. I think they're all right. Okay, first one. College will be paradise if I'm not dead by.
June.
Yay! One point.
Come on. Stars for
Number
camp.
2. Guys fall at your feet. Pay the check. Help you.
Feet.
Yes! 2 out of 2. Smashing it.
Yes.
Are you ready? I don't know the names. Don't bother with faces. All I can trust is this.
Concrete Oasis.
Yes! She's smashing it. Are you ready? Number 4.
Yeah.
A hot guy smiled at me without a trace of.
Mockery.
Yes! Number 5. No sleep tonight for you. Better chug that.
Mountain Dew.
Yes! Oh, I knew you'd be good at this. You're halfway. Number 6. We can start and finish wars. We're what killed the.
Dinosaurs.
Yes! Number 7. Maybe prom night, maybe dancing. Don't stop looking in.
My eyes.
Yay! Number 8. Shine, shine, shine. And your scars and your.
Flaws.
Yes. That's such
terrifying.
a good song.
That would be one that I would get wrong actually if I ended up going on for Miss Blooming. Like scars. Doors. Okay, flaws.
Oh, you've got 2 left. You're on a really good run here.
Full House.
Full House. You need help. I can't provide. I'm not Bonnie. You're not.
Clyde.
Yay! Last one. Is it going to be a Full House? I think it is.
I hope so.
Dad said, act your age. You heard the man. It's time to.
Rage.
Yes! 10
God,
out of 10.
Rave. And then he went, rave. What?
No,
That's what I feel like.
Rach, you did it.
Which way? Come on. Yes.
10 out of 10. Heather's
I'm thrilled.
Heather's song lyric legend, May Tether, 10 out of 10 on Matilda's Backstage Spotlight quiz. I think you deserve a medal for that.
I agree. Or a cup of tea. I'll have a cup of
Or,
tea
or
after
a cup
this.
of tea and a digestive biscuit.
I'll celebrate somehow.
Last thing I ever ask everyone that comes on my podcast, who are you going to
Mm.
nominate to come on next? Who would you like to see on the podcast?
Oh, who would I like to see on the podcast? I'd like to see Erin, who played Veronica, because she's now in 6, and I think she'd be a really good one to interview because she's funny and she's got the knowledge of the both fan base, you know, the 2 fan bases. I think that's really interesting when people have done the crossover from Headers to 6, the
Yeah, that
sister
would be
shows.
great.
You know, it's 2
Yeah,
huge fan bases. I think she'd
let's
be
ask
great.
her on. I think
Oh,
she would be fantastic.
Hannah would be amazing.
Yes, we need to get Hannah on. She's had a few people wanting her on. Erin or
They're
Hannah?
the people that, yes.
Lovely. Thank you so much, May. You've been fantastic. To everyone listening, Merry Christmas.
Christmas. Have a good one.
Have a great one and see you in the next episode, which will be Christmas Eve, and it's already lined up. So you've got to head over to the Instagram. There'll be clues of who it is. So make sure you go and guess. It's a great one. And thank you so much, May. You've been brilliant. And have a lovely Christmas and New Year. And good luck with the rest of your Cinderella run. I hope it goes so well.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.